I don't know who you are, I don't know what you want. If you let my daughter go, that'll be the end of it. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you and I will kill you. What I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I have acquired over a long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you, I don't know who you are, I don't know what you want. If you let my daughter go, that'll be the end of it. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you and I will kill you. I don't know what you want. If you let...
What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. What's happening? Tron ARES is in theaters, and we will give you a spoiler-filled review. That's right. We're talking the end of the movie, what happens to characters, and whatnot, because it seems as if people just don't care. There's your warning. Plus, other movies, Roofman, trailer reactions, news, and Alan Ng. Somewhere here is Alan Ng. Where is he?
Chris Gore, I have a serious question.
Are you with us or against us?
I like things with nuts. Alan, do you like things
do you
with
put
nuts?
more than two? Do you put more than two balls in your mouth?
Hey,
do you?
Friday.
Do you?
It's Friday, man. Let's go. Let's
Ah,
go. Lots going on. Tron ARES is set to. Have you seen the estimates? It seems like they keep
Bumping 'em
lowering they're lowering the expectation on the box office.
I mean, at least the Rotten Tomato score looks decent. Looks like it got it right.
I think it's fairly represented. Was it 53%?
Yeah, around 50. Yeah.
Not looking good. Not
Yeah.
looking good. I feel bad for Tron fans, of which I am one. So I love that movie when it first came out. Was it 1982?
81, I believe.
82, 81, around there. Early 80s. And I saw it in a theater and I loved it. And it was not a phenomenon.
No.
It was not.
Let's be real. You could only see it in a theater in 19.
Yes. Yeah. Home video was just getting
Barely
started.
a thing, yeah.
Yeah, barely a big thing, but became a big thing. Hey, let's say hi to everybody. Let's say hi to everybody because we have a lot of people here that have come to watch live because you never know what's going to happen live. You just don't.
I know.
I mean,
Yeah, let me sneak a typo in somewhere. And
no, don't. You'll ruin my day. Here we go.
All right, Nerd Far Away. Ooh, did I miss an epic rant Wednesday? I'll have to go back and watch. Yes.
Yeah, go back. And also, the epic rant was turned into a clip about spoilers. So look on our videos on the channel. Thanks,
Yeah.
Nerd
And watch
Far
the
Away.
commercials all the way through.
Watch. Don't skip.
Don't skip. Tim is not funny. Good morning, chat. Caught the lost bus after the hunt and Tron ARES this week. Enjoyed them all.
Wow. Okay, Lost Bus. That's Apple.
Did
After the hunt?
Is that out?
Yes, I was in. It's limited right now,
Okay.
I believe. But Tim is not funny. Good to see you. Did you see him in Burbank? I'm gonna assume yes. I have met Tim is not funny in real life. He
By
may
the way,
actually he may actually be funny.
Did you hear about Julia Roberts on The View?
No, please tell me.
Oh, so she's on The View promoting the movie, and Joy Behar starts getting into it with her about being an older actress and letting the younger actors come, give them their spotlight and let them, basically saying you're too old, let the young people do it. And Julia Roberts just wouldn't have any of it and walked off the show. And so, and there are of course no clips of it.
No clips?
No, they cut the whole segment. off of
Oh
that.
my God. Well, that's first of all insulting and awful. She's a
Mhm.
guest. You should show respect. That sucks.
Yeah. All right. The Tron Ares scripts is brain dead. Yes, Chris, we are at a crisis right now.
Yeah, we are.
Sons and
IP.
Shadow. Yeah. Sons and Shadows. Chris Coffee Pool, 2 cups in and ready to yell.
I'm only 1.5 cups in, and I will
And
get a
ready
cup during the show.
and ready to yell.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And then finally, Ololi Ukui for us computer geeks. Tron was our Matrix. It was magical seeing that virtual world come to life. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it, in first run. I saw it as a kid.
Mhm.
My dad worked with computers at his job at Chrysler. And so he knew, like, he was explaining to me what these terms
Mhm.
meant. He loved the movie. I love the movie, but it was not a phenomenon. It didn't hit with normies. They thought it was
Mhm.
weird, but I loved it.
Yeah.
And it was just cool. Tron, I fight for the users, like the
Yeah.
whole programs, and I loved it. I
Yeah.
loved it.
My mom was like on the Apple train very early on. Like I said, we had the Apple II, not the Apple II Plus, not the Apple IIe. We had the Apple II. And then like 1 or 2 of my friends had a Trash 80 at the time. And so it was just, personal computers were not a big thing in 1981. And I think that's why it just didn't catch on until video came along.
And hey, Lord Thoth, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, sign up as a member. We have a ton of members only. I think I posted like 20 videos this week for members only. So check those out. We have a members only playlist, only accessible if you're a member of the channel, which is cheap. We literally were like, what's the lowest price we can charge? And we charge the absolute lowest.
Mhm.
There are other tiers, but the lowest tier, you jump right in, get on Discord, talk to Alan, and go to shop.filmthreat.com. We have a new collection. I love it. It's normal, we swear. This is I want to call it our triggered collection. Hey, why don't we have hats that say make movies great again?
Yeah.
Atomic Lori, let's do it. But we have our mug. You can take this to work at Disney when you work at Disney. It says normal sexual. You're a normal sexual. This is part of our triggered collection of possibly triggering merch. We still have the spirit of Halloween through the end of October. Then it's going to be holiday merch and award this merch. Oddly. Yeah, trigger this. Love it, Lori. She's amazing. It's normal, we swear.
Yeah.
And then the fall collection, I was wearing my jersey last night watching the Dodger game at Yard House before I walked into Burbank to see Tron Ares a second time. Why did I do that? I don't know. I just did.
Yeah. I mean, we're in the playoffs. I don't know if you knew this, but the WNBA is currently in their national championship.
Well, I did not know that.
I found out there are 3 games. It's 3-0. One team is beating the other, and it could all end tonight.
And also, we want to do a shout out to a friend of the channel, Justine Bateman, and her festival coming up, Credo 23. It's an anti-AI festival. Go to credo23filmfest.com to submit your movies. Just support Justine. I love what she's doing. And then another big deadline is coming up. Award This. Go to awardthis.com if you're a filmmaker. Submit your movie we got until the end of this month, because in November we're announcing the nominees and tickets go on sale, and they're a limited number for the public. Limited number of tickets. So go to awardthis.com, submit your film. Look at it's pretty easy to be eligible. You need a review on Film Threat. You need to be in commercial release or available to see if you're a short film. So check that out. It's fun. It's a fun event. free drinks, a gift bag.
You're
There's
gonna hang out with Chris and me.
the huge party before, hang out with all the filmmakers and
Yeah.
actors. It's walk the red carpet, get your photo taken at the step and repeat. That's what that's called. Step and repeat. We got you know
A
what?
host.
Well, we have a host. We can't announce yet, but we can announce we have Heineken as a sponsor.
Really?
They are providing a lot. If they're providing a lot of beer, and they also do cider and non-alcoholic drinks. So the free drinks will be. It's super cheap. It's super cheap to go when you look at the ticket price. I think it's like I'm not going to say, but it's a full evening. It's a full evening, entertainment, drinks.
So
gift
Bud Light
bag.
couldn't come through. We got Heineken. Yeah.
Yeah, Bud Light turned us down. So, hey, we've got some news stories and to talk about. Let's get to them. Are you a fan of Game of Thrones, Alan?
Not in the slightest.
Well, that's sad, but you may enjoy a Night of the Seven Kingdoms. This is a spin-off. It is a limited series, so it's like 6 episodes. It tells a story that's a prequel about 100 years before Game of Thrones. It looks, it almost looks like it's very humorous. So it's in tone, perhaps not as dark as Game of Thrones. It tells one story, so it's not going to drag on. I feel it's also something you could probably watch with no knowledge of Game of Thrones. You could just watch this.
Yeah,
but
that would be good.
I saw the trailer. It looks really fun. I'm going to share it with you. Let's go. No, it's real.
This is a parody trailer.
No, look,
Really?
it is real. It's in January.
Really?
It's a limited series. It looks fun. It's kind of an isolated, it does connect to the larger Game of Thrones world, but I don't feel that if you don't know, it doesn't matter. So
yeah, but we've talked about it. It just feels like one quippy line after the other. Maybe that's the way the trailer is cut.
It's the way trailer is cut, I think.
This is WB Kids. Game of Thrones for WB Kids.
No, I like this. I think it'll be fun. I might just binge it, wait for it to come out all, not watch week to week and just binge it.
Yeah,
we'll
see how desperate we are in January.
Yeah, we'll see the way releases are going.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? Gavin Newsom did something. Yes, but he did something kind of good. He signed into law that Netflix must keep commercials quiet. You're watching like any of these streamings. It applies to all streaming services, but you're watching a streaming show and those insufferable commercials. I don't even mind the commercials. Here's what's terrible about them. One, they're not timed. Classic TV would build in the commercial breaks, came at like moments of high drama, commercial break, come back, what's going to happen? They were well timed. And the commercials came in, but what commercials on streaming come in at odd moments that make no sense. And then what they do is they're too loud. It's annoying. They need, give me a lower price or make it free. So, it's like TV, but this is ridiculous. Now, yes, this is one step, but by God, if you want people to sign up to your streaming service and pay a lower fee or give it away for free, please fix the commercials. Don't show me the same commercial over and over and over and over and over and over again. See how monotonous it was, me even saying that? They need to fix commercials on streaming. Now, I think this is a complete idiotic, stupid waste of government's time. Our elected officials Now, starting July 1st of next year, Netflix and company, other streaming service, will need to keep the audio levels consistent from movie and TV shows to advertisements. They've got to keep the level. What a dumb thing for government to be involved in. What Netflix and all the streaming services need to do is be responsive to their shrinking customer base. Okay? Level the audio and put the commercial breaks at logical, natural, organic places where the story pauses for a moment. We all know that moment because, look, you may not know this about me. I was born with one kidney. The main way it's affected my life, I urinate 3 times more than the average person. True. I am a mutant. I will be joining Professor X's Mutant Academy, and my name will be Urinator. And every time, Magneto shows up, I'm going to say, hey, I got to pee. I'll be right back. That's my superpower.
You pee on him. You don't go away and
do
pee.
that.
You pee on him.
I could pee on him. I'm just saying that I go to the bathroom at least once during a movie. I'm pretty good at going like, this is a natural break. I can miss this. The story is sort of stopping for a moment to give the audience pause. They need to fix the way commercials are woven into streaming content by putting it in better place, those commercials, more variety of the commercials, and keep the audio levels consistent. But the government doesn't need to do this. There need to be smarter people at these companies to enact this. We don't need. I would like to see government do things that actually improve things. Like solve homelessness or build a bullet train from LA to Vegas, or rebuild the Palisades. That'd be great, Gavin. Alan, are there notes for this story, or did I cover it?
I think you covered it all.
Okay, good. What do you think now?
What do I think? The biggest thing is Gavin Newsom, just stay out of our business. You're already ruining the state. You've made it more difficult. Look, gas prices are dropping across the country, except where? California. Yeah. Gavin Newsom, thank you. You've officially Trump-proofed California. It's as if he didn't exist. We're still living under the grand rule of the last 4 years. Second is, this is what government loves to do. It's assert power. And this is just a way to do that. The government comes in and just says, look, your commercials are too loud. I ran a law through the committees, through the Senate, through the Assembly, and now we're banning loud commercials. Great. How do you enforce that? What is the definition of loud? The other thing is, if the commercials are too loud, if there's too many of them, people are just not going to, watch your stuff because it's just not worth it. Right. I don't need the government to come in and police little things like this. No, yes. I need you to start lowering prices. I need you to start, getting people who lived in the Pacific Palisades back in their homes. I need you to help farmers grow food so that our food prices go down. I need you just to stay the hell out of our lives. And just keep us safe. That's all I want. I don't even care about a train from LA to San Francisco. Look, this is just stay out. This is not a. Well, I'm just saying this is a ploy to get Katie Porter into the governor's.
Well, let's hope. Look, she doesn't take any crap from her staff. She's not going to take any crap from anybody. Katie Porter, please run. I support her campaign. I know people are really upset with her because she's mean. Maybe we need someone mean to fix California, but all I'm saying is he could lower gas prices by getting rid of those unnecessary taxes. That would really help.
Yeah, that would help.
It reminds me of that character from The Simpsons that says, I'm helping. Like, this is what this is. But what I'm encouraged by is when you see every time Gavin Newsom tweets anything on X, the comments are chef's kiss. People like just calling him an idiot, memes,
I mean,
bringing up
who
old
is he tweeting
videos of
to?
him. What?
Who is he tweeting to? Because it's clearly not Californians.
Yeah, well, it's there's a really great exchange between him and Adam Carolla. Maybe you can find that, Lori, where he talks about how black people can't get an ID, and Adam just asks real common sense questions, right? About that. I mean, there are so many. All you need to do is look up old clips of Gavin talking about we will end homelessness in 10 years, which was like 15, 20 years ago. He said this. It is ridiculous. What a hypocrite he is. Just how, like, I don't know. I'm just saying, I like the enthusiasm. He didn't need to do this. The streaming services need to be responsive to consumers with how commercials run on their services to not turn people off. I've unsubscribed from, I canceled my Hulu. I was sick of so many commercials, and they're the same ones. Repeat. They're loud.
Like
they're annoying. They're annoying. Okay, let's wrap that topic up. Guess what, Alan?
What?
Tangled, the live action from Disney, resumes development. Now, Alan, I know you're a Tangled fan.
I am a Tangled fan.
So do we need a live action?
No, because the first one is perfect.
Well, one thing I do want to know about Tangled, and I have the story here from Deadline, so let's take a look at it. I think we have notes, but off the top of my head, I'm going to say right now, Tangled live action takes a Tangled live action take resumes early development at Disney. Scarlett Johansson circling role of Mother Gothel. Here's what I'm curious about: how they will explain that she has a black daughter with blonde hair. How do you think that they'll thread the needle on an explanation of her black daughter with blonde hair?
Well, let's go back to the original and realize that she was adopted, or she was stolen,
right?
And
so easy.
Yeah, so dad was black, and so there you go. Yeah, it's so easy. It's so easy.
Do you have notes for this?
I do have notes. Here we go.
Let's go.
Looks like Disney's not done spinning its fairy tales into live action gold, or at least trying to. According to Deadline, the studio has quietly restarted early development on Tangled live action remake with none other than Scarlett Johansson reportedly in talks to play Mother Gothel, Rapunzel's villainous mother. Director Michael Gracie, The Greatest Showman, and the best movie of last year, Better Man, is still on board, working from a script from Jennifer Caton Robinson, who adapted the 2010 animated hit. But before anyone gets too excited or skeptical, Disney hasn't officially greenlit the film yet. The project had actually been put on hold in April after Disney had gone cold feet with the disappointing box office numbers of Snow White. There's a big difference in regards to the audience appeal for old Disney animated picks versus those titles since 1989, Little Mermaid musical renaissance. Basically, movies like Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid alone have made over 1.3 billion this year. Original Tangled, Lilo and Stitch, sorry. The original Tangled earned nearly 600 million worldwide. Disney's live action division is focused on revisiting existing stories through a modern lens, while also building out new franchises like the recently announced Impossible Creatures project.
Well, I, for one, am not excited. I think the live action movies have been troubled at best. And I don't know. We've only had one real Lilo and Stitch has been a big hit. And they've been creative disappointments pretty much across the board. So I don't know. I really don't care. And I wish they would not do this. And it's you know, we're just spiraling into horrible mediocrity with
Mhm.
all of these. As a Disney fan, Alan, is it disappointing to see where the company is now?
It is.
Creatively speaking.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Just nothing really inspiring to come out. These live action remakes. I mean, I'll talk to Tangled for a moment. You know, I had been on the hand drawn animation train for a very long time, and at this point, Disney's computer and generated films, animated films, have been less than stellar. Tangled was the first one where it was like, okay, I think we've crossed the line, and I think we're going full CG. It's probably one of the best looking animated films Disney had put out at that time. It looked like a 2D animated film in terms of style, and it was great. There was a time when Disney just had real leadership in its company, especially. I mean, John Lasseter was definitely still at Pixar when Tangled came out, and I believe they were starting to share a lot of the technology with each other. And Tangled was the first one to say, "Okay, I'm okay with CG feature animation now." But like you say here, the track record for live action has been declining ever since they ever started trying to do this.
Yeah.
And so not much to look forward to with the Tangled. They're going to change things. They'll change things in all the wrong ways.
Guess what, Alan? Hollywood is dying. This is a recurring story we have discussed a lot. We've discussed production leaving California. We've discussed the fact that, you know, people have been out of work. We're talking below the line workers. And 42,000 jobs in Hollywood gone in just 2 years. This is from nofilmschool.com, entertainment news site. You have notes for this story. Alan, give it to me.
Yeah, if you work in Hollywood right now, you're probably heard the grim industry mantra, survive till 25. And according to a new Wall Street Journal report, the survival may be tougher than ever. The numbers back that up. At the end of 2024, only 100,000 people were employed in LA County's motion picture industry, down from 142,000 2 years earlier. That's 42,000 jobs gone, nearly a third of the workforce in just 24 months. And there's still no sign of a turnaround. Film LA, the city's official film office, reported that on-location productions dropped 22% since early 2025 compared to the same last year. TV has been hit the hardest. Annual shoot days in the region have fallen from 18,500 to 77,016 in 2024, a staggering 58% drop. Paul Audley of Film LA, Film LA's president, didn't sugarcoat it, calling 2024 the worst year on record, excluding COVID. So what's behind the collapse? It's the perfect storm. The industry still hasn't recovered from the WGA and SAG after strikes, while the streaming bubble has burst, leading studios to slash content spending. Add to that wildfires displacing residents, and LA production scenes is drying up. California's also losing its competitive edge. Audley says the state has slipped to 6th place globally for film production, behind places like Toronto, the UK, Vancouver, Central Europe, and Australia. Between 2020 and 2024, a whopping 71% of projects that didn't get California tax credits ended up filming elsewhere. And then some stupid story about Gavin Newsom.
Well, this should surprise no one, but this is, I mean, there were warning signs before, but now we're seeing it finally manifest in
the numbers have come in.
The numbers have come in, and all the predictions were correct. All the predictions. So here it is, and guess what? It's gonna get worse. Fewer productions are happening in Los Angeles, in California, the state. And this is only going to get, I hear friends that are like, haven't worked in 18 months and they'll take like any sort of quick gig, digging into their savings to survive, that have to make hard choices, pivot your career or leave California. We just saw our good friend Verbal Riot, Dante James, leave the state of California. Said, I said, you win, Gavin. Could not, highly qualified. I'll let Dante speak for himself, but you know, he had to leave. You know, YouTube for him was a side gig. And I mean, love Dante as a friend, and love just talking movies with him and stuff on Versus. And man, this just, it's like, I know people personally going through this, and it pisses me off because it's all self-inflicted. And we have a total lack of leadership, not only at the, you know, in government, but at the studios, doing nothing to pivot and fix this, not lobbying, you know, to make life cheaper, livable in California. California's become a joke.
Yeah.
We've got
but
a
Chris,
lot.
but
Please,
Chris,
I want to hear what you have to say.
But Chris, at least Netflix commercials will now be at the proper volume.
I was hoping for that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, of all the horrible things going on in California, at least the Netflix volume problem is solved. So thank you very much.
Thanks, government of California. Hey,
yeah, but the thing that will save, I believe the thing that will save Hollywood is regulations. You've just got to cut regulations down, cut fees, cut permits, make it affordable to shoot in California, in Los Angeles, and the industry will come back. But that's too much money and that's too much power. And unless there's a change in government, it's not going to change, and it's going to get worse.
Hey, Alan, what if one battle after another glorified right-wing terrorists? You know, we took a lot of criticism for our review of One Battle After Another. We didn't hail it as being genius. We didn't say it's another Paul Thomas Anderson brilliant movie. You and I did not do that. But our friend Christian Toto, he has a column called Hollywood in Toto. Go to hollywoodintoto.com. He asks the question, what if One Battle After Another glorified right-wing terrorists? The movie does glorify an Antifa-like group. What were they called? The French 75?
French 75, yes.
Yeah. So I know you have notes for this story, but please, it's a question worth asking. Would you feel differently about this movie? Alan, please.
All right. So from Christian Toto, here's a wild thought experiment I came across. What if Paul Thomas Anderson made a far right movie instead of a far left one? That's the basic setup for this article that he wrote. The movie itself sounds intense. It follows a group of alt-right radicals clashing with a Democrat administration, lighting fires, setting off explosions, and breaking January 6th defendants out of confinement. The lead character is a pregnant machine gun welding revolutionary described as sultry and uncompromising in her beliefs. Her boyfriend, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, is more of a beta male, just trying to keep up. These two are apparently the film's complicated but unabashed heroes, even though they do some pretty horrific themes. Sean Penn then shows up as a Democrat-appointed colonel hunting down DiCaprio's daughter. From what the article says, Anderson's filmmaking is visceral and ultimately scary, humorous, and ripped from today's headlines. But here's the thing that gets interesting. The article argues that this movie leaned right instead of less. Critics would absolutely torch it. The writer also point blank asks, what would that film's Rotten Tomatoes score stand at 96% fresh, doubtful at best? Instead, the real One Battle After Another, which apparently has a hard left slant, is being showered with praise. Variety says it's rule the cultural conversation. Hollywood Reporter is all over it. The piece calls that kind of coverage wish casting, basically saying critics are projecting what they want to see. The writer admits the movie is technically incredible. They call it morally repugnant but impressively assembled. But they also think the fawning reception is a double standard. As they put it, if politics were reversed, there's no way it would be getting this kind of love. They do end on a fair note, saying that the film deserves a fair public hearing, and that free speech means that even controversial art should have its place. But they should also admit that whether Anderson's film is responsible storytelling, given the tenor of the times and the debate over one, or is a debate for another day. In the end, the takeaway is clear. Critics aren't just reviewing movies anymore. They're grading policies. And One Battle After Another might be the most blatant example yet.
Yeah, this is it. Because the politics of this movie align with most of the critics who reviewed it. They automatically love the movie. It's kind of like when you see certain critics that care about identity. Well, a woman directed it, it's automatically great.
Yeah.
Or a person of color directed it, I can't criticize it, it's great. And they overpraise movies that don't deserve it based on the identity or the politics of the movie. And this fell into that. I've really enjoyed Paul Thomas Anderson's work in the past. Magnolia is still one of my favorites. A lot of it is I really liked Amy Mann in that film, but this is blatant. And you actually had a great response to people about this. Could you repeat it, Alan?
Yeah, I mean, this got 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. But what happened with Sound of Freedom? No one reviewed it. And it was all because of politics, and not necessarily the politics of the film, but the politics of the filmmakers, or the people involved. And it was, they didn't even go as far as to just give bad reviews wholesale over the movie. Hollywood and critics just refused to review it at all.
Yeah, it's cowardly. It's cowardly when they do that. So it's hypocritical, cowardly. We review everything. We review left, right, whatever. We review it. We'll be honest. We reviewed Matt Walsh's documentaries, Am I a Racist? And What is a Woman? And we were one of the only 5 outlets that reviewed it.
Well, Christian Toto, of course, reviewed them.
Right. What I'm saying is we review everything. We review drag queen documentaries. We don't care. We've got people who write for Film Threat are also all over the political spectrum, right? It's fine. So I want to end on this because I like Paul Thomas Anderson. And this is from X. I got to bring this up. It's Tom Cruise's character from Magnolia, because I love that film. The Amy Mann music is amazing. But this is Tom Cruise and Paul Thomas Anderson made a fake TJ Maxx commercial that aired late at night. People who called the number got info on Mackie and the film. Imagine seeing this on TV in 1999 with no idea what it's about. If you've seen Magnolia, Tom Cruise plays a motivational speaker who says, I don't even know if I can repeat what he says here. But let's watch this fake commercial that aired late night.
I don't care how you look. I don't care what car you drive. I don't care what your last bank statement says. Seduce and Destroy produces an instant, money-back, guaranteed, trance-like state that will get you this naughty sauce you want fast.
That exists. I love it. And if I didn't know about this. I saw Magnolia at the time. I think my only criticism of that movie, it needed an intermission. It was too long. but I
I
love
swear
that.
when I saw it on the list that we're going to talk about, I clicked it. And I go, "Goddamn AI!"
It's not. That's real. So, Tom Cruise's character in the movie just says he keeps repeating this mantra: "Respect the cock, tame the cunt."
Hmm,
Respect the cock, tame the cunt.
hmm.
That's going to get clipped.
Truer
isn't it?
words have never been spoken.
That's going to get clipped. Hey, let's go to comments and then we're getting right into reviews. We're a bit behind today. We will do our best to keep up. We do have an interview in 45 minutes. We got 5 films to review.
Yeah.
Can we
And
do it,
skip the
Alan?
Tron comments.
Let's go.
Skip the Tron comments. All right. Like
Oh, I'm
this
gonna skip
one.
the Tron comments. Skip the Tron comments. Sorry, Alan.
The Dark Knight Returns. I'm gonna go on a rant. Okay. The Dark Knight Returns might as well go back to terrestrial cable with all the streaming service. I just actually canceled my DirecTV.
Makes sense.
MK Solid commercials on streaming are brutal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim O'Rourke, Californians, crime is out of control. Newsom, legislate commercial volume.
Exactly, Tim.
Yep. Zumius, did he say the superhero name was the Eliminator?
I don't know.
All right.
Oh yeah, mine Eliminator. Yeah, that could be it.
Okay. Southeastern Kaiju for $4.99. Thank you. Is Chris in a better mood today or not so much? Eject the Gore core now.
I'm always in a good mood. I just
Yeah.
I get riled up.
Yeah. You were definitely in a good mood going into Wednesday's show.
And then that changed.
And yeah. On a dime. Joe Pat 87 for 5. Hope there's a movie you both saw today. It's always great to see conversations like that. Like Siskel and Ebert never left us.
Oh, thanks, Joe Pat. That's high praise. Appreciate it.
Oliver Lavery Farag became a new member.
Good to see you, Oliver.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Watch those videos. JPS also became a new member. Thank you for that. 2 Penny Puppet for 5. Hulu's got a scale now for 6 months.
Got a sale.
For 6 months at $2.99 per month. Sub this morning, then I canceled and wait for the next sale. It's never ending cycle.
God, I wish I knew about that. $2.99. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, I hate to say what I just did. Helios ending, 2 Canadian from respect the cock to respect the pronouns. And then Jean Hu gifted 5 Film Threat memberships.
Hey, welcome new members. We got a lot of films to review. Let's get right to them. And let's start with Deathstalker, a movie I saw that Alan, you did not. It is Deathstalker is apparently a remake. I did not see the original film, but this 2025 remake is basically, it's a Conan movie, effectively. Deathstalker is a swordsman who is also kind of a thief. He's a rogue. He's out for himself, doesn't care about others. He befriends a little troll voiced by Patton Oswalt. Oh my God. This troll is the comic relief because Patton Oswalt's voicing him. So Patton Oswalt, his face is not in the movie, but his voice is in the whole thing. Daniel Bernhardt plays Deathstalker. The troll is played by Patton Oswalt, this little comic relief sidekick. And they go throughout the land. Deathstalker takes out these evil warriors that are terrorizing the landscape and the peoples. Eventually, push comes to shove, and he has to do the right thing. He hooks up with doesn't hook up. I don't mean it in that way, but his band grows as he meets Brisbane, a female warrior played by Christina Orjalo. She's kind of fun as a sidekick. This reminds me, and to be clear, the opening scene of this movie is a fight scene where Deathstalker, where well, Deathstalker enters later, but you see these villains chopping graphically people's heads off. And I don't mean just by the neck, I mean top ways they're going this way. I mean, it is gory and it's all practical. Okay. The effects in this, there might have been some digital enhancement I didn't notice. All digital effects or all practical monsters, practical monsters. I mean, this is as if it was made in the 80s and 90s. It has that tone, that kind of whimsical tone of Conan the Barbarian, which is a movie that I love. This is like a low budget version of Conan, but the practical effects is what sold it for me. Um, of course, things come to a head where Deathstalker must confront the main villain who is resurrecting and creating warriors. It's I won't go into too much detail, just to say there's no nudity. There are sexy women, but no nudity. But the gore is over the top. I mean, they established that in the opening scene of the movie. There's also a lot of creature work, but it really feels like this was done in the spirit of the 80s, 90s. I got real like Xena Warrior Princess vibes from this. I mean, in a good way. I really enjoyed that show back in the day when it was out. And this kind of has that, but it's far gorier, likable characters. I would say the only minus might be Patton Oswalt's troll, who's kind of gets a little bit. I would cut his screen time. That's the only thing. A comic relief sidekick I like, but keep it toned down. Keep it toned down. So I recommend this, but also with a warning. If you are not into the gore is on the level of Terrifier. Okay. That gory. If you've seen any of the Terrifier movies, it's that over the top. But Daniel Bernhardt as Deathstalker is really likable. And Brisbane, the female companion who joins their group, is a lot of fun and really good villains. So I recommend Deathstalker. It's in limited release in theaters. Check it out. It's like a throwback. It's like Heavy Metal made a movie. They could have thrown the Heavy Metal brand and name on this, and it would really be, in that vein. So recommend for me. I don't know that you can handle the gore, Alan. I actually think it's like,
yeah. I'm looking over
way over the
notes.
top.
I'm looking over comparisons to the original. Apparently, I guess the difference is this has much more gore in it versus the original, which had much more nudity and they call it exploitation.
Look,
yeah.
Why can't we have a balance? Yeah, there was really no nudity, but there were attractive women in sexy outfits. That's fine. But yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it's maybe it's about international sales. Who knows? But quite enjoyable. But you've got to know, do you like this kind of thing? And what I do applaud them for is the practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
Chef's kiss. Great.
I think I'll be seeing the original instead.
There you go.
Yeah, the original is a Roger Corman film as well.
Cool. All right, let's go to a few quick comments. We got to blaze through these.
Yes. Christopher Moonlight Productions. The original Deathstalker is peak Roger Corman 80s gold. You can't repeat that kind of B-movie exploitation cinema in this era.
Well,
and they shouldn't have tried that.
I think they did a good job.
Okay. Olo Liukui should have at least had pubes.
Yes. The movies are in order, Lord.
Yes. The Introspect M. The original Deathstalker had planned for 5 beheadings, including a horse, but they didn't have the budget and had to scale it back to like 3 or 4. It also hired a Playboy playmate for the film. Did they?
Nice. Don't look that up, Alan. All right, Alan, you saw a movie that I did not. So I want to talk about it here.
Oh, yeah.
Of the Spider Woman. Now, I remember when the original came out, I was a big fan of monster movies. This is not a monster movie.
Did you see the original?
Yes, and when I was younger when it came out, and I hated it.
Yeah, and you
But-
didn't see the musical.
No,
Okay. Because this
even
is
though even though I do like musicals, tell me about this. Is a new version now with Jennifer Lopez.
yes, well, this is based on the musical, the Candor and Ebb musical. Candor and Ebb also famous for the Liza Minnelli one. Why can't I think of it? It's the Cabaret. That's the one I'm thinking of. Okay, so basic plot here is that we're in Argentina during a revolution. We have two characters who find themselves together in a prison cell because they are political prisoners. One is Valentin, who is the revolutionary, played by Diego Luna, and we have Molina, who is a drag queen, a transvestite. I think transvestite is a better term, played by Tonatua, and they find themselves in this cell together. What we soon find out is that Valentin has information about the revolutionaries, and he won't give it up. A friend of his, who is also in the prison, the professor, they are torturing him to death to get this information. While they're doing a different tact with Valentin, they are taking Molina and using him/her as the means to try to extract information out. So she is there to basically get information, whether he speaks in his sleep or whatever. And so the idea here is, I have a way of getting him to talk. I'm going to talk about my favorite movie, which stars Jennifer Lopez, or the character in there, and the movie is a musical. And so throughout the course of the two of them being in prison together, in this prison cell, he describes this musical, and so this relationship builds between the two of them. Valentin holds back a lot because he's not sure he can trust Molina, and Molina's working real hard to open him up. But during the course of their time together, they become great friends. In fact, let me ask you this question: of the two characters, one of them turns gay, but it's not the gay one.
What?
Which I know,
Diego Luna? Oh my! It's a spoiler, Alan.
Well, I mean, it's a movie based on a book and a musical. People have seen it, but I mean, it's a question. I mean, do you think one of them will turn gay? And I'm not talking about the gay one.
It's a musical. The answer is yes.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this one. Candor and Ebb, I'm okay with them, but the music in this one, a lot of the music, especially at the beginning, is basically conversation songs. So we're just going to have a conversation set to music. There are some dance numbers, like in a Latin diner. You know, the issue I have is I like dance numbers, but here it just felt confined in a small space. All the moves throughout this entire movie just felt small and confined, when you really want big and epic. You know, you want the Busby Berkeley type of dancing, and it's just. And let's be real. This movie came out this year because of modern times.
So it's
Chris,
a modern remake musical.
Well, I think there were 2 or 3 lines that were added because of today, especially when it dealt with the whole trans issue. It's kind of interesting because I think it's weird, but Molina kind of takes a more traditional role of the LGBT community, while Valentin takes kind of the more revolutionary aspect of it. You know that men are men, women. That trans women are women. You know, that the roles are kind of reversed. But in the end, I would not a fan. I would not see this again. It's too long, and the music should at least be a little more exciting. It's not the worst musical this year, but yeah, not a recommendation on my part. You can wake up now, Chris.
Hard pass.
Hard pass.
Hard pass. Let's go to some quick comments.
Yes. Caravaggio. Can't wait for Lenin the musical. I mean, Valentin's a Marxist in every definition of the word. The Garth Knight Returns. I knew it The gay can come on like an average cold nowadays. You got to watch out. Zumius, is this the gayest movie set in an Argentine prison? Yes, it is. Two Penny Puppet for 10. I bought what's called a tableau for $95 off eBay. It's a DVR with pause and play that I hook up to my TV antenna. I get 45 broadcast channels and 130 free streaming services and 50-hour hard drive.
Okay, thank you.
And you could buy it on Temu.
Thank you, Two Penny Puppet, for 10. Very generous. Tableau, TABLO, for off eBay. Sounds like a good recommend.
Okay. Brandon J. Thorne for 2. Tron. Okay, that's a Tron comment.
Oh, sorry. Okay, we'll get to that because that's our next review.
Hmm.
Alan, we both saw Tron. No surprise, we did not like it. But now we're talking spoilers.
And you saw it twice.
I saw it twice. Now, I love the original Tron. It was so radical and like an original vision for science fiction at the beginning of the tech boom, like even the sort of pioneering, right? The early 80s. That was so early. The tech, what they developed to even make that movie. It's remarkable. If you look at documentaries about the making of the original Tron Legacy carried on that story, with Sam Flynn. So the legacy was continued. It was directly connected to the events of the original Tron. And in Tron Legacy, you know who's in it? Tron, played by Bruce Boxleitner. Tron ARES breaks from all that, introduces new characters, and I've seen people comparing it to The Force Awakens, where they do the legacy characters dirty and introduce new characters, like Greta Lee's character, among others in this cast. Evan Peters as Julian Dillinger, Greta Lee as Eve Kim, and Jared Leto, who plays Ares. Tron is merely a brand. And this movie is definitely got Force Awakens vibes, for sure, in the sense that it's looking to kind of reset, reboot, and introduce new characters and F off to the old characters. In addition, our friend Nerd Cookies, he said it right and basically said that Eve Kim is the Rey Skywalker of Tron ARES, if that makes sense. There's girl boss vibes in this, and even the one of the characters here, God, I forget her name. She was in The Acolyte.
Athena.
Yeah, Athena.
Jodie Turner-Smith.
Yeah, Jodie Turner-Smith was in. She plays Athena. She is a villain. She's an antagonist. But can you guess what happens with their character? I'll tell you right now. We're full in spoilers. She is defeated in the end, but what happens because of her identity? She can't be fully bad. She was only doing her job, doing what her programming was told, and she has a little redemptive death scene. That's right. Athena, quote, dies and has a little redemption moment. Of course, everything with Eve Kim works out amazing. She's great and amazing, and everything's perfect. Yay. And then Jared Leto, I kind of felt like it reminded me of the ending of Dark Knight Rises. Sorry, going to spoil another movie. At the end of Dark Knight Rises, Batman didn't really die. He faked his own death, and Bruce Wayne was off in France with Catwoman, having coffee at a diner, and Ares is now, biking and taking his motorcycle through the third world sort of looking at this. Look at my adventures now with all the little people in the third world as I experience humanity. And he's
He's
now
the Greta
fully-
Thunberg of Tron.
Yes, yes. He transitions from the digital realm, wins, and his fate is riding off into the sunset on a cool motorcycle, having adventures with the little people. All of this is stupid. I saw it a second time in a theater that was not packed. It was IMAX screening, should have been packed, was not. It was maybe 2/3 full, but you could have gotten plenty of good seats were still available. And literally no reaction. I will say that some of the scenes with some of the action scenes are pretty spectacular, but they're vacant because you just don't care about any of these people. And then, of course, Evan Peters in a mid-credit scene, get ready, folks, becomes he basically takes on the visage of his father
In the Tron world.
in the Tron world.
Yeah.
You know, so
With the weird helmet.
yeah.
pointy
What's his
helmet.
name? Sark or whatever.
Yeah, Sark,
I don't know.
that's
I have to look. I look. It's the movie's a mess. It's all because of the script.
Mhm.
He might as well have written this with AI. There's a human element to AI. When you're rebooting and remaking franchises and whatnot, what you're doing is you're remixing ideas, and maybe adding an original flair, but you're remixing ideas. And that's what AI does. It's a randomizer, right? When it comes to creativity, it randomizes words. And this is using the dumbest elements of Tron and not actually adding the elements people wanted to see, like Sam Flynn and other characters. It's not a direct sequel necessarily. I mean, it doesn't focus on elements that they could have from Tron Legacy, which I recently bought on sale for $5 on Fandango, a digital version. Anyways, Alan, what thoughts do you have to add? And I don't know, are people still watching? I guess everyone stopped watching because they don't want to hear spoilers. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is not a sequel to Tron. It's basically a reboot.
Right.
Because
It is.
with the exception of Flynn, there's no one or nothing really from the originals, except for the names, the motorbikes,
the
the light cycles, the recognizers, and instead of bringing people into the world of Tron, the world of Tron is now brought to Earth, and that's kind of the thing here. The problem with this movie is the story. It is so thin that so the idea is that if you come from the grid, you have 29 minutes to survive in the real world, or you get de-resed, which calls into question, how did Cora survive?
Right.
Which is why I'm saying this is a reboot, because they don't even address that. Somehow Cora is able to live on forever, but not these characters. And then they have to find the permanence code. Mind you, they have to find it. They don't have to make it. They don't have to rewrite it. They have to go off to some distant, snowy mountain lair, get the code, and then chase the person who has the code, which is the Eve character. I'll say it. I'll say it before I say it again. At least the first two movies had something to say. There was a commentary about the relationship between humans and technology. That was especially part of the first one. The second one, it was about, to me, people don't like the first one, or it's gotten mixed reviews, but the thing at least that was in it was this idea that Flynn, by staying in the grid and not coming out, meant that the world was going to be safe from the grid. And so there's that battle kind of going on, and that was kind of the whole point of that movie. This one is just, let's just chase the person who has the code. And then once we get, and then the whole conceit of the whole movie is that Julian Dillinger wants to sell these military assets, these from the grid, to the highest bidder. Has that story ever been told in the history of film? I mean, that story specifically has been told over and over and over again, and this is just another one. And when I walked away from Tron, the feeling is that Hollywood doesn't know how to tell stories anymore. They're just rehashing the same story and putting no soul in it. Not a single idea of how this idea of bringing elements of the grid to real life would affect humanity. Instead, all we get is an action movie. And we talked about it on Wednesday about the light cycles. It's not light that they're emitting. It's some kind of polycarbon plastic, apparently. And then at the end, it's just pure nostalgia bait. When we go into the world of the original movie,
the original
Tron,
grid,
the original grid where we see Flynn, that I believe is the authors, the screenwriters saying, "Oh, let's throw a bone to the original fans."
Right.
And by the point that this happens, which is well into the third act, I'm so pissed off and tired of this movie. Not even the nostalgia could excite me. In fact, it made me even angrier. And then the way this movie wraps up in the most god awful dialogue. It's the world's going to be a better place, or Tron or ARES is like,
Oh no, it wraps up where Eve Kim, there's a montage on the news of how she solved all the world's problems.
Yeah.
They've solved starvation around the world. She's solved cancer. And just to shout out to our friend Nerd Cookies, Eve Kim is the Rey Skywalker of Tron ARES. Like, yeah, look at that. That's her tweet. Yeah. Yeah, bottom line, this is soulless corporate garbage. It says nothing about the world. It's it's peak girl bossery
and POC, her diversity team.
Yeah, it's Tron ARES DEI edition. That's what this is, and this is what happens. Corporations are not capable of being creative. If you know anything about the original Tron and how it was made, Steven Lisberger fought for that movie so hard. The creator of the original film, in terms of inventing processes, the story, there was a creative energy to that movie. Even though it wasn't a huge hit at the time, we've never stopped thinking about it. And there's so much that a new Tron movie could say about the world, social media, how we interact together. But it's a typical girl boss cures cancers, solves starvation, and is the bestest ever. And barely struggles in the film. Avoid like the plague. It's a brand, and it another example that Disney cannot. They don't know how to shepherd their greatest IP. Final thoughts, Alan. We'll go to your comments.
Well, I mean, you said something really interesting that I hadn't thought of before. But after the first Tron movie, you watch it, you could think about stories down the road from where you could see a direction. You can see ideas come out of this world, and to some degree, Tron Legacy tried to do that. And I think after seeing it a second time, I like Tron Legacy. This one, there's just nothing after it. Because it was all just action. This happens, then this happens, then this happens. But it's a movie that has nothing to say about anything.
It spurred the original Tron, spurred the imagination of what was possible. Audience. It was like it did this world building that was so good that you kept thinking about it.
Yeah.
Well, what about
it's like
this?
I want to see more. I want to see what. Yeah.
Yes, and all this did is take ideas from that original and did them with more spectacle. That's the only thing you could say positive on Tron Ares. I know people are praising the soundtrack too. It is pretty good. But it's not. It's, I don't know. Daft Punk I think was better. But yeah, this Avoid Like the Plague. This is bad. It has nothing to say. Let's go to your comments and see what you have to say.
All right, from M. Spencer for 2. I wanted to watch Tron, but Chris spoiled the movie.
I'm doing you a favor, M. Spencer. Thank you.
Brandon J. Thorne for 2. Tron synth score was good.
Yeah, that's fair comment. Yeah. I'm not going to debate that.
The Garth Knight Returns for $4.99. Anyone who owns the Tron Legacy Blu-ray has watched the 10-minute video Flynn Lives, setting up the third film. Bring back Ram and his user.
Brings back Ram and his user. That is so cool.
Oh, brings back Ram and his user.
I gotta get that Blu-ray. I didn't know about that. Alan?
Yeah. Death, MTL dude, member for 1 month. Chris, are the pussy spoiler in the room with you right now?
Yes, they are. In fact, we're just because you said that, we're doing a t-shirt, Death Metal Dude, just so you can buy that t-shirt.
All right. Rudy for 2. Lost brain cells hearing this. Glad I didn't watch it. You can throw commas into comments, by the way.
Okay.
Jeff Romantic member for 21 months. Jared Leto as Skeletor has me worried.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, makes you wonder how much influence he has on Skeletor. Over on Rumble, Movie America, $2. Whoops. Tron spoilers. I better get out of here. But first, hi, Chris, in 10 seconds. Alan.
Thank you. Thank you, Movies America.
Okay. Yeah. Hope you come back. Razorburn. This is like watching a Batman movie without Batman.
Yep.
ADL's 24. I would rather fake my own death than go see Tron Ares in theaters.
Thanks, Anna.
Yeah. The Introspect M. Ares is giving zero reason to suddenly disobey his programming and then magically has feelings and human empathy out of nowhere. The film just doesn't work. No, Ares has an Asian fetish, and that's what got him out of that's what got him to disobey his programming.
Yeah.
Razorburn, member for 13 months. Chris, did Nine Inch Nails even bother to save the movie? Would you think Daft Punk would have done a better job? Any redeeming values?
I mean, Daft Punk did a better score for Legacy.
Yeah, but Legacy was mostly in the grid.
Nine Inch Nails is good, but it's like a band that it's like it sounds like a band that got together after not being together for a long time. It's like, oh, I remember liking this band. But so that's, like I say, the redeeming are a couple action scenes and the score.
SWG, hey Chris, nice seeing you last night at AMC Burbank. Tron Ares was entertaining, but the dialogue was amateur writing. I was happy to hear the praise of Depeche Mode in a couple scenes.
Yeah, that was the funny thread with Ares. So, hey, we have more movies to review, and then we have an interview with the director of a film called Mannequin, who's going to be here shortly. But a couple more. Let's get some more reviews in. Roofman is the story of let's see, a kind of a man who wants to do good. Channing Tatum plays Jeffrey Manchester. He was once in the military. He just wants to do good for his family. And what does he do? He pulls off a series of robberies where he enters through the roof, goes through the roof. What's odd about Jeffrey is he's incredibly polite. He wears a mask as he's takes the employees at a McDonald's, puts them in the freezer, but asks them to put their coats on. He even gives his coat to the manager who forgot his coat. Then he'll leave. He amasses money so what can he do? He wants to buy a bike for his daughter's birthday. That's it. Just trying to help out his daughter and be a good dad. His crime spree leads to him maybe getting the attention of the authorities. He ends up buying a house, has a big birthday party with his daughter, but the authorities are hot on his tail and he ends up going to jail. But he's very likable and resourceful, and he cares about others and finds a way to escape jail. What does he do then? As he's fleeing the police, he finds refuge in a Toys R Us, where he finds a way to sort of sleep between the walls and survive on M&Ms. He befriends locals at a church and meets Lee Wainscott, a single mom played by Kirsten Dunst, and they end up having a little romance. Torrid. In fact, they get hot and heavy on the first date. You can see where this is going. I'm not going to spoil it. Things do kind of unravel for Jeffrey as he tries to keep up this charade of being a church-going good dude. Maybe he works for the authorities. We don't know. His job is mysterious, but he has money and he's filled with lots of free gifts for people at the church. This is based on a true story, and it's wild. Again, one of those true stories. This has become a cliche in movies now, where the movie will kind of show the comparison to the real people. This has happened in so many films, like the movie Sully with Tom Hanks, among others. You see the real person, and Channing Tatum kind of looks like him. I really like Channing Tatum quite a bit. He's a very likable actor. Kirsten Dunst is great in this. The movie has a very indie film feel. It's like very soft-spoken, dramatic. Ben Mendelsohn plays a character named Ron Smith, who is a pastor at their local church. And Jeffrey, while he is a criminal and does bad things, he's not violent. He's kind of almost too polite to be a criminal. And that's why he's so endearing. The thing that I found that I didn't think would really get to me, you know what it was? It's a period piece. Obviously, it's set more in the early 2000s era. It's the Toys R Us. Toys R Us. Now, I hear that Toys R Us, they're going to reopen Toys R Us stores. Have you heard this, that Toys R Us are having a comeback?
Yes, I have.
I
don't know how true it is.
Because I used to be clear, I'm not going to out myself as a criminal, but I'll say this. In the 90s, I was an editor at a video game magazine, and I would get like review copies we would be sent games, a lot of games. I would go to Toys R Us at least once a week. Why did I go to Toys R Us? They had the cheapest diapers you could buy. And my kids at the time were young, single digit age. They were kids in the 90s. I had to buy diapers. Toys R Us sold diapers at a loss to get people to come in. What would we end up doing? We'd obviously end up buying toys. And I would take games that I was sent to review, and I would return them to Toys R Us to get cash. Yes, I did this. I did this in the 90s. When my kids were little, we would go to Toys R Us once a week to get diapers. I'd get toys. On occasion, I would exchange games for cash. Anyways, the movie, the nostalgia from seeing so much of the movie set in a Toys R Us I was really moved by it. Peter Dinklage also plays this antagonist, Mitch. He's kind of the a-hole manager of the Toys R Us, who, he's an a-hole. What can you say? Dinklage can play that role. He can also be very sympathetic. This feels as the vibe and feel of an indie movie, very likable, enjoyable drama, and I recommend it. Not necessarily a strong recommend. You could wait for streaming on this, but if you're looking at the theater and the choice is Tron, ARES, or Roofman, you will have a good time at Roofman. You'll walk out smiling, and the Toys R Us nostalgia will really might get you in the feels. It actually did get me. So recommend for Roofman. Let's see what you have to say and go to comments.
All right. Well, I too did like Roofman.
Wait, I didn't know you saw it. Tell me what you thought, Alan.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
so sorry.
Okay, so my only problem with it is too damn long. It's over 2 hours long. I think there's a good half hour you could have cut out of this movie, but I did enjoy it. Channing Tatum has just his ability to feel like a normal guy. And I think the appeal to me for this movie was twofold. It was this love story between him and Kirsten Dunst's character. The other thing was it's like a spy movie in the sense of, how is this guy who's on the run? How is he going to survive? Because usually when you escape prison, you're caught within maybe a week. This guy went months without being caught. And,
Right.
And the question is how, and you see it, and it's like, oh, okay, this is kind of plausible. And then, his main goal is to get out of the country. And so he has a friend of his who's going to give him a false identity, false passport, things like that. But he has to wait it out. And that's what this is. And like I said, going back to the romance with Kirsten Dunst, one of the things I really appreciate about this movie is its portrayal of a small town church.
Right.
Ben Mendelsohn is the pastor. It's just, look, my experience with the church is that, especially with the small ones, is that everyone's really nice to you. Everyone
Right.
cares about you. If you have a problem, people want to help you. And that's the kind of church he runs into here. And so definitely, this is just a really sweet film. I think, to me, when we went to CinemaCon, the movie I remember most out of all the presentations was Roofman, because it was just a simple story. And Channing Tatum comes out and just says, it's just a very simple story about a guy who loves his family and goes the wrong way in doing that. The moral of the story at the end is perfect. It's just chef's kiss. Not to spoil things. Well, no, I won't spoil it. But
don't spoil it, please. Don't spoil it.
Yeah, I won't spoil it. But
by the way, it's only 2
ending,
hours.
Hold on. Let me finish. Hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
You spoke for 5 minutes about this.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
The ending, it's just one of those, because I saw a comment in there. I think we're about to read it, but it's we're making heroes out of criminals. Well, in this one, the criminal realizes he's a criminal. He is a criminal, and he learns to accept the choices he's made in life. And I think a lot of that has to do with kind of the church influence that occurred in the film as well. Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm going to say the movie is, you said it was long. It's 2 hours and 6 minutes. So it's not that long, but you have to, if you stay through the credits, you'll see more about the real person, and they do comparisons with photos of the real and the fictional. But yeah, just really fun and just heartfelt drama, and I recommend it.
Okay,
and
let me ask you this question. Did you notice the nipple?
No.
Yeah, there's a nipple, and I swear it's unintentional. But somehow it
What, with
slipped out.
Kirsten Dunst?
No, Juno Temple.
Okay, well, there you are. That's a great thing that adds to the review. I didn't know why that was important.
Well, I mean, it's rated R, and I don't know if it's because of the F words or it's because of the nipple.
It's really not that. I mean, there is a sex scene, but it's not super graphic. Anyways,
a nipple. Yes.
Okay, recommend from both of us for Roofman. Quick comments here, and then we'll go to our interview.
Okay, blood runs clear. Hollywood seems convinced the only good guys are criminals nowadays. Yeah.
There's truth to that. In this movie, it's different. He's a criminal with a heart of gold, if that makes sense.
Yeah, in the truest sense of that term.
Yeah.
ADL is 24. Unlike One Battle After Another, ADL is 24. I'd rather they redeem the criminal instead of glorifying him. Think how they treated RDJ in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. No, I think they do. I think they do in this movie.
Yeah. So cool. Wait, I have some confusion here. There's a guy named John in the studio. Are we interviewing 2 people or 1? Susan, can you clarify, please, for me in the private chat what's going on? I thought we were interviewing Maxwell only.
It's 2 people. Yeah.
It's 2 people. Okay, I wasn't told this. So can you clarify 2 people? Well, who are they? We have Maxwell, the director. Okay, producer, actor. Okay.
No, John is the director. Maxwell is the producer actor.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. I have too many email chains going on. I have too many email chains.
Yeah, Gmail doesn't help. Believe me.
Yeah, Gmail.
Gmail's the worst.
No, it's fine. Just
I get lost in conversations in Gmail.
okay. All right. Well, let's go. By the way, we have more films to review, so stick around. Well, let's talk to the filmmakers behind the movie The Mannequin. We have filmmaker John Berardo and producer actor Maxwell. Now, is Maxwell is that
Maxwell
his
Hamilton?
name?
It's in the
Maxwell, or is it Maxwell like Cher? I don't know. I need more information.
It's
Let's do this. We'll get this is how you get to know
label.
things.
It's in the label.
We do
there. It's Maxwell
interviews and we get the information. Let's talk. Hey, gentlemen, what's going on? Maxwell Hamilton, okay, and John Berardo, the director. Tell us about your movie, Mannequin.
I want to say real quick first, I tried to go for just Maxwell, but there's a singer that already has just the name, so I'm stuck with both names.
Well, tell us about The Mannequin.
Of course. John, take it away.
Yeah, so The Mannequin's a horror film that's going to come out on October 14th about a serial killer that likes to possess people to chop off their body parts. And it's a really fun horror flick that we made a few years ago, and we're really excited to release it out to the world. And
is it going to be in theaters?
No, it's going to be on digital, and the DVD fans can buy a copy as well.
Okay, perfect season to release a horror film.
Absolutely.
I gotta say. But what led to the concept behind this? I mean, first of all, I was intrigued by your poster. That's what really got me. Was like, this poster looks terrifying.
Oh, we're glad. Yeah, we were pumped about it.
Yeah, and mannequins themselves, I find creepy.
Exactly.
Like, I could never be a security guard at a Nordstrom's because I would be terrified. We're gonna watch your trailer in a second, but what inspired the story?
Well, if you look behind me, there's a mannequin in my wall. So I had a roommate here years ago. I went to USC, and he shot a short film and left all these mannequins here that I had hanging around for a while. And so once the pandemic happened, I decided that I was going to turn a bunch of mannequins into living room kind of like art and have them kind of come out of my wall. And, you can kind of see there's a mannequin. There's mannequins everywhere in here. Hands, legs that are coming up there, mannequins. So I just, kind of turned this little art project into a movie that you're going to be able to watch in a few days.
Awesome. Well, let's actually look at the trailer for the movie. I've got it queued up right here. Let's get it. We have to know about this. Is the season for horror. So let's watch the trailer.
Then Jane Mansfield, Betty Page. How about we take a few with the dress off?
Jack? This is huge.
I know.
What's back here? Oh, shit, I thought that was a real person. So, where'd you get this?
Did you get that when you started saying that?
Yeah. All three of us. We're not really sure what it's from. Hazel. Where are you going? Hazel.
The building was first used as a mannequin factory, operated by photographer Jack Tron.
So you're saying that a dead serial killer is doing this to us?
Yes. We are going to provoke and trigger the spirits with prayer. Liana?
No. No!
Oh, in the name of Jesus Christ, I command you, leave!
Damn. Okay. You got me there. And you also got me with, I thought I saw boobs, but it's a mannequin's boobs. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. You got to tell, and good job there, Maxwell. How do you balance being a producer and an actor? Wearing both hats.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was certainly a challenge when we were shooting and throughout pre-production. It was obviously a full-time commitment. We had another great producer, Ashley Rosenberg, with me, and we basically had an agreement where, we were together 100% of the time, but I had asked as a favor. I was originally on as Peter Adler, the character. So I was originally attached as just an actor, ended up producing it as well, but I needed to give justice to my original commitment to the film. So on any days that I had a scene, I just needed to come just fully focused on that. Sure, if we, broke down and I wasn't used as an actor the rest of the day, I'd be able to switch over to producer. But if I was coming in for the day and had a scene, my request was that I just came fully focused on that. And it worked out great. I mean, Ashley had my back the entire time. And yeah, I mean, there are times where I'd be kind of spoiler, covered in blood, and we'd say cut and move to the next setup. And I just grabbed my laptop. I didn't have time to towel off or anything, and we'd on the schedule and the permits for the next day and whatnot. So it was 100% commitment the whole time.
Well, you're in a rare class of producer actors. Tom Cruise, also a producer actor. I'm sure you know about that.
I like to think.
John, I gotta ask, what are your horror influences? I get sort of a Asian horror vibe from the film, visually speaking, but what are some of your horror influences?
I mean, that's very interesting. I've never really been an Asian. That's never been like my go-to genre. I'm a huge 90s slasher kid. I grew up watching, the Screams. I know you did last summer's Urban Legends. And so I think when you watch my films, there's this there's a lot of character-based, horror, I would say, that we now call elevated horror. But in terms of the horror gore element, this was my first supernatural. I never really thought I would make a supernatural horror film, but the murderous sort of, Black Dahlia, 1950s crime spree, Jack the Ripper element to it really allowed me to hone in on that. And, I in terms of what the gore in that movie, I just thought what would scare the hell out of me if I woke up and there was some dude in my apartment, what would be the most terrifying thing? So it's kind of my approach to it. But I mean, OG 90s slasher, 90s horror kid.
You shot in LA, right?
Yeah. We shot it at a loft called Loft 1923, just in downtown LA, right off the 10 freeway. And we shot in a house in Hollywood.
Any tricks on shooting in LA nowadays? We just did a story about how difficult it is.
Insurance and
well, it's funny. The loft has these big, vast windows, which is what we fell in love with the space. But we're pressed up right to the 10 freeway, and so you can hear all the cars and motorcycles passing by, and you can see the headlights. Most of them were night shoots, so you can see headlights. And we just eventually, instead of trying to hide it, we built it into the scenario. It's part of the world that these characters might be screaming in a horrible situation, and just on the other side of the window is civilization, and no one can hear you. So we worked with it.
Now we've got over 1,500 people watching us live right now. We've got questions from our chat. We're going to put those up on screen and let's go. Solomon Thornton, greetings, Sir John and Maxwell. What is your process of creating a horror atmosphere for this film?
John,
A
take it away.
horror atmosphere. I would say it starts with the people, the characters, and the positions that you put them in. And it really kind of builds off of that. So, it's a matter of like, you could, put anybody in any location and give them some sort of like predicament, whether it's, possession, someone with a knife trying to chase them. And really that's the starting place for creating that atmosphere. And that will answer a lot of the questions of like, how does the lighting come? Are you going to have shadows? Do you want shadows moving in the background? Max had commented on the moving of the cars and the headlights, and that was a huge perk visually for us. It gave us that like film noir, sort of like under, I forget the proper name for it, but that lighting that shoots up from underneath. So it worked out really well. And I would say, yeah, character.
Rudy for 5, who's a member, thank you so much. Man, this is going to be the craziest remake of the 1987 classic Mannequin. Kidding. Looks awesome. Looking forward to seeing it. Mannequins creep me out. Me
Love
too
that.
as well. Tim is not funny. The mannequins are a nice horror motif. I like the warehouse setting. That space looked distinctive and appropriate for the subject. Well done. Looks scary. And the nerd far away, who's a member, thank you. Hail, Mr. Berardo and Mr. Hamilton. Did any of your actors get scared on the set?
Absolutely. I mean, we were talking about it earlier. I mean, the mannequin, even though we knew it was, for the most part a prop, but also one of the, main characters, it looked creepy the whole time. So even if it was off in the corner, not in the shot, it was still this presence the whole time, We were in this big, vast warehouse where you would hear these creaks. I don't think we necessarily had a haunted set, but we were worried in the middle of shooting of maybe we're conjuring some spirits or anything. So shooting in that space in the dead of night was certainly creepy the whole time. Yeah, it was a thrill.
And it's the middle of downtown LA, which is like not the safest area currently. And, like the last day, like there was like, some sort of like homeless encampment fire, like right under the freeway. We're breathing in these fumes. Like it was, you're like going into a jungle.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom say. Everything's safe.
Well, it was a couple of years ago, so maybe
California.
You can look out my window if you'd like. We can do that.
California's not on fire. A couple more comments. Kenneth Marchant, it reminds me a little bit of Eyes of Laura Mars. Getting those vibes. That's high praise. And Rumble Hotep, not going to be able to go in the department store now. That's awesome. The movie is out now on VOD. Is that right?
October 14th.
October 14th.
Yeah, October 14th. So if that's now, then yeah.
4 days.
Yes. Next week, just a few days. Check it out. John and Maxwell, thank you so much for joining me. Congrats on the film. Could have come out at a better time.
We're excited.
Just in time for Halloween.
It's Scream season. Thank you so much. Congrats on the movie. Come back when you have your next film.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate the time.
Take care. See ya. That was great. I love talking to indie filmmakers. And even when there's confusion, by the way, the person who was confused was me. I was confused. So I look.
You don't take curveballs very well.
I try to plan this show out professionally. We try to be very professional, but we roll with any issues. We just roll with it. We roll with it. So there we go. Hey, Alan, you saw some movies that I did not this week. Let's talk about, have you seen this movie?
Yes, I have seen that movie.
See, now this, we've got, let me do this. I'm going to do, it's a quote here. See, this is the format. I'm not even going to call out the mistake here, but whatever. I already love the poster. He loved Blossoms more. What the hell is even that, Alan? What is this movie about?
Well, this is from Greece, as you can tell. In fact, I think Yorgos actually produced the movie. but it's played at Tribeca Fantastic Fest. Falls right in. It's the story of three brothers, Dummy, Japan, and Hedgehog. And
that's their names.
That's their names in the movie.
Okay.
I don't know that these are the Greek translations, but at least in the subtitles, they were constantly called Dummy, Japan, and Hedgehog. And the film opens up with an experiment, a science experiment their father was doing to basically crack time travel. And then jump to today. The brothers, they want to pick up the mantle of their father's experiments by continuing on the work to bring their dead mother back to life. So they want to go back in time and somehow figure out a way to get mom back. But in the process, they're doing experiments. They grab a little piggy, put it in the chamber, and they run the experiment. And the piggy comes back with no skin. Yeah, it's but what it proved was they could send the pig out and they could get it back. Also, what they find out is it's not time travel they cracked, it's interdimensional travel. And so at one point they send a chicken out. The chicken almost escapes the chamber, and so the chicken head goes to the other dimension while the chicken body is back, but the chicken body is still alive. And then the weirdest thing happens. Hedgehog's girlfriend visits, and Dummy decides that he gets so fed up with her that he puts her in the experiment. And unlike the chicken, her body is sent into a dimension while her head stays here, and that's her head right there in the poster.
Is this a foreign film? Subtitle?
It's Greek. It's Greek. It's in the vein of The Lobster. Like I said, I think Yorgos, the guy who did The Lobster and all those, he produced the movie. So it's kind of in this really gross storytelling sci-fi vein. But this is a very weird movie. You've got to be kind of in the mood to see something weird to really enjoy this movie. And I kind of took it at that, and that's why I would recommend this movie. It's about basically three boys trying to get their mother back, and the experiments they do are kind of the through line of the story, but it's really about this sibling rivalry. It's about family dysfunction, and it just kind of plays out in a very weird way. And what I like about foreign films, the main thing I like about foreign films is they're just not hung up on American storytelling conventions. And this movie certainly doesn't go down that road. It gets weird and weird and weird. And, you just sit back and just kind of let it wash over you. The effects, like this thing here in the poster, they're using practical effects. This thing looks really weird. It's the girlfriend. Her face is cracked in half and she still talks. A lot of puppetry, a lot of practical effects. The skinless pig was practical. So was the headless chicken. So it's just a very weird movie, and I recommend it.
By the way, the more you say about this, the more I like it.
Yeah.
Like I like weird stuff.
Yeah.
This is kind of sounds like my jam, but it just sounds bizarre.
It is. Oh, it's bizarre. It's kind of it's between there's
sci-fi horror.
Kind of, yeah, it's sci-fi horror, but there's Frankenstein vibes with it. There's also the world that they live in. It felt like a Tim Burton movie. The house, these boys are so obsessed with bringing their mother back that they've let themselves go. They're not really taking care of themselves. And the house that reflects the house that they live in where they do the experiments reflects that. And also there's something poetic too. Like the chamber is their mother's wardrobe chest. And so there's just a lot of it's poetic. There's a lot going on here, and it's just really fun to watch.
Let's go to comments about this film.
Razorburn looks like some art book you would see on a coffee table at some hipster cafe. Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Razorburn.
Yeah. And then Rumble Hotep Darjeeli Express with time travel.
I love that name, Rumble Hotep. Hey, did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Okay. It's the Julia Roberts movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should see it. We should review this at some point.
Okay.
Did you see this movie?
Yes, I did.
Let's talk about Alan's Soul on Fire. You saw the film. I didn't. Tell me about it.
Okay, The Soul on Fire is based on the true. It's a biopic based on the true story of John O'Leary. So here's the deal: when John O'Leary was a young child, he was in the park and he saw kids playing with fire, not only fire, with gasoline. And being inspired by the fun that the kids were having, John decides to grab a can of gasoline, go home, and set something on fire. And in the process, he sets himself on fire and his house. And
What?
And this is a true story.
Okay.
So the house is on fire. He runs upstairs. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. He collapses. His brother saves his life, takes him outside. Sister goes in. She grabs cups of water. She goes into a burning house 3 times, grabs a cup of water, throws it on his face 3 times. And then he's in the hospital where there's just no chance. No one in the hospital except for one person thinks he's going to live. So the event happened on the night of the let's just say the Baseball Hall of Fame was happening, and Jack Buck was being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and this story takes place in St. Louis. The word gets out throughout the ceremony that this kid is about to die and not doing well. So Jack Buck that night goes to the hospital and visits him and gives him words of encouragement that if you want to live, you can live. You can get beyond this. And so as the boy is kind of getting life back, he's burned all over his body except for his face, which was the reason why the sister was throwing water on it. She saved his face. So while during rehab, he has a nurse helping him get to normal. And then Jack Buck comes and visits him often and declares one day a year at Busch Stadium as Jack O'Leary Day. And then jump forward, Jack is now in college. He meets a girl. He's dealing with a lot of issues of his appearance. And that's kind of what this movie is taking this tragic moment and making something good about it. I should tell you, Jack O'Leary today he is a speaker. He's an motivational speaker who does the tour, very popular. And it's also a Christian faith-based film. You had a question?
Yeah, I saw the trailer for this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't see this. I will burst into tears. This is when I delivered newspapers as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like 11, 12 years old. I delivered newspapers to a hospital, and there was a boy my age who was burned over like 90% of his body.
Yeah.
And he bought a newspaper for me every day. He could care less about the newspaper. He just wanted someone to talk to him.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I never forgot this kid. And it like no matter how rough life has ever gotten for me, I don't forget this kid that bought newspapers every day from me for like 20 cents, would buy a paper, and then we'd sit and talk, and he was covered. And I saw the trailer to this. It'd be really hard for me to watch this movie. Yeah, it looks inspiring. Wow. Okay, so thank you for seeing it, Alan.
Yeah, well, let me tell you about the movie.
I'm like, just because I had that connection, being a kid, I think about no matter what happens in my life, I have nothing to complain about because I remember I never forgot that kid. Yeah. So it's in the end, it's inspiring.
Yes.
Obviously. Yeah.
But I should just say, I think you just peed all over my review.
Why?
Because this movie, oh my God, this movie. So there are 2 redeeming elements of the movie. One is the father is played by John Corbett, and Jack Buck is played by William H. Macy. Aside from that, the acting in this movie is not that great. The story, there's a reason why I've seen a lot of faith-based films, and I'm not a big fan of faith-based films. And this movie checks all the boxes on what I dislike about faith-based movies. It's a little too, it's like, okay, here's this scene, and here's this scene, and here's this scene, and you're building the story. The acting outside of John Corbett and William H. Macy isn't the greatest. Look, I do appreciate the makeup effects here. The guy loses all his fingers, and so there's a lot of scenes where he's just fumbling around with his fists. Look, it is an inspiring movie, but that's not enough to really save the movie. So I can't recommend the movie. The reason it's out in theaters, this is from Sony, from their Affirm production. So that's their faith-based branch, and that's why it's out in movies. But oh my God, it's just, if you've watched as many faith-based movies as I have, you're just gonna relive reasons why you don't like faith-based movies.
So it's a mild recommend.
It's a bare recommend. Barely. I don't know that I can even recommend it. Look, the reason to see it is because of this guy's story, of John O'Leary's story. But man, the way to get there is, it gets painful at times.
Let's go to your comments as we wrap up the show.
All right, Tim O'Rourke. Is this the sequel to Man on Fire?
I'm going to say no.
No. The Nerd Far Away. This reminds me of the speaker who came to my school. His motto was, "It's not what happens to you, but it's what you do about it." I'll never forget him. This might have been the guy, because I think that quote is in the movie.
Oh, wow.
Bill S. Preston Esquire. Chris had too much coffee, had to pee on Alan's review. That's right. And that whole one kidney thing, too. And Mr. D-Man. Mr. T-Man 21. Yeah, most faith-based films are color by number. I grew up Southern Baptist. I know all about these movies. Yeah, I bet you've seen. I can't even remember. It's the. Never mind. I'll remember it later.
I love how your brain works, Alan.
I know.
I love seeing your brain it's sort of like the the little. When your Mac is like kind of just frozen, you get
spinning.
that little the spinning wheel.
By the way,
spinning wheel.
By the way,
stop obsessing about race, you stupid midget-minded morons. That actually isn't the clip I wanted to.
I know. By the way, the movie is Thief in the Night.
It's what? It's called what?
It's called Thief in the Night. It's a classic 80s faith-based movie that doesn't even hold up today in any sense, in any way.
That's going to wrap it up for us today. We are back next week, and Alan and I will both be at the Newport Beach Film Festival. I'll be actually in a hotel room next Friday. We're doing our normal Versus Monday. We're talking Tron ARES. Be there for Versus. If I've been looking at the tweets and talking to like Derek Anderson, Nerd Cookies. We've been DMing. It's going to be Versus on Monday will be fire. So join us for that. Wednesday, Hollywood on the Rocks. Friday, we'll be at Newport Beach Film Festival. Then we'll do coverage of the festival all weekend. Lots going on. Thank you to our mods, Lord Thoth, MK Solid, Atomic Lori, Glenn Nuccio. Love working with these people. I love it. So that's this weekend, by the way. I'll be at Son of Monster Palooza in Burbank, California. I'll be there tonight. Actually, it doesn't open till 6, but it goes till 11 p.m. The hotel bar at the Burbank Airport Marriott is amazing. It's amazing. And what am I going to do? I'll probably bring some roadies. I'm going to bring along some roadies. I get a film threat koozie. I don't say anything. I keep it on the down low. And there you go. We'll be having a lot of fun at Monster Palooza. I'll post videos for members only. And then I don't know, Alan, I'm going to see you Sunday night.
Yes, we're seeing Christy.
Okay, here's what we're doing Sunday night. Tell them.
We're seeing Christy. We're going to a screening, and the star of Christy will be there.
That is Sydney Sweeney doing a Q&A for the movie Christy. Alan and I are going to an early screening. I will film the Q&A. I'll post it for members only. And Sons and Shadows, thank you so much. Gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. Take advantage of that membership and look at our members only videos. We aim to please. And look for our Sydney Sweeney Q&A will be up there probably by Monday. But yeah, well, I'll see you Sunday night, man. Yeah. Should we meet before at a restaurant?
We could, yeah.
Okay, all right. Text me.
I have no idea anything around there, but
it's all good. And go to shop.filmthreat.com, awardthis.com. We are the plans for award this year are insane. It's going to be the best we've ever pulled off, from the gift bag to the drinks that we're going to have there. Like, you pay one price, you walk in, you're entertained, and you can't do that. You can't go out in LA for under $100, but you'll be entertained at Award This. So there you go. And that's it for us. So Alan, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, let's get out of here.